Hey everyone, it's Donovan with Weymouth RealEstate. I just wanted to share 3 developments going on in Weymouth and then a quick overview of the housing market. And as always, I will attach a seller and a buyer's guide down below in the comments that you can download, and you can always reach out if you have any questions or something specific that you want me to talk about. So let's dive into it. So 505 Pond Street and 1537 Main Street over in Weymouth. It's South Weymouth. If you go right through Columbian Square and keep on going, you'll get to this like old paint factory on your right. There's a fence around it right now, but they do have a plan for that to demo the building. It's almost 41,000 square foot, big warehouse. They purchased it back in, I think, 2019 for just over 1.9 million. They did have some preliminary discussions about maybe putting like a Starbucks or a Chipotle, which I think would be wicked exciting because I think Weymouth is in need of a Chipotle. They have one like Quincy and Hingham and Braintree, but I think it would be great to get one in Weymouth, and I think that area would benefit from an eatery like that. So they did run into some trouble. People were upset about, increased traffic and stuff like that, especially with the drive-through, people constantly going through at Starbucks. But I think that they will work that out, and maybe they'll, because it's going to put a lot of pressure on Pond Street and Main Street. But I'm excited to see what happens. I think that'll be awesome for the area, and a lot of residential apartments over there, or residential homes. I think they'll benefit from that greatly. I don't think at that location they're going to have any residential. I think it's just going to be retail. It won't just be Starbucks and Chipotle. It'll have some other stores as well, but obviously they haven't put out any word on that just yet. The other one is 550-560 Washington Street. In 2019, they purchased that for $1 million. If you're unfamiliar with that building, it's Union Brewhouse. It's right next to, or it's a couple doors down from BJ's. So they had preliminary stages to put something like mixed use, which will have residential and commercial down below, but they're running into some trouble with water capacity concerns, just with like sewer and stuff like that. So what they'll probably do is they'll redesign it, and they might lower the amount of apartments that will be there just to take some pressure off of the sewer system. So it'll be interesting to see what goes there, because that's a big plot of land. And I think it's kind of needed because it's just a small place, Union Brewhouse, but it actually goes back pretty far. So interested to see what happens there. The other one is going to be Cornerstone of Weymouth. This one really interests me because it's something that you don't really have too much around here. It's going to be independent senior living and consists of 147 apartments. They do offer like a ton of stuff. It's a neat community that's going to be coming over there. If you're unfamiliar with what independent senior living is, it's the opposite of, well, it's not the opposite, but it's very similar to assisted living, where assisted living, you have like nurses come by and stuff like that, and it's heavily on assisting people who have who are elderly and they need a little bit more help as far as like getting around or running errands and stuff like that. But independent senior living, it's not as much like helping them get around, stuff like that, but it's like a community where they'll have like a minimum age limit where they didn't have it on the website for Cornerstone, and I reached out but I didn't get a phone call back. But it's like for 55 and above, or maybe 65 and above. But if you were interested in finding out more about that, you could always reach out to them. They do have a Facebook and Instagram and a website. I can post one of them down below. So Cornerstone of Weymouth was purchased by Elks Development. They're not finished yet. They will be able to do on-site tours around April 2024. So it's coming up pretty fast. It's 3 floors of living. I think I already mentioned before, but it's 147 apartments, and they purchased that for $4.5 million. It sits on a little over 4.6 acres, and it used to be the Lodge of Elks. So they're going to offer a ton of amenities and features. I don't want to dive too much into it, but different amenities will be like yoga classes, restaurant, pub, movie theater, a salon, some walking trails, and different features in the apartment will be like stainless steel appliances, in-unit laundry. Some will be pet friendly. I mean, they have a great location. It's on 53 in Pleasant Street. So 53, you can get right into Hingham. You can get right down the landing. Pleasant Street, you can get to the South Shore Hospital, Columbian Square, or you can get to North Weymouth, which I think is great. It's an awesome location. It'll be really accessible for people depending on their needs. And then in addition to that, I know people were nervous about different traffic that's going to be in the area now. With 147 apartments, that is a good amount, but At Cornerstone, I think kind of realized that they maybe have ran into some trouble early on when they first posed these plans, but they're going to offer some like a local transit bus where residents can request it and, you know, take it. I think it's in a short amount of distance, like within like 10 miles, they can use it. So hopefully if they're like grouping people together, they can take that away. But it is some effort that they have made to possibly help out any possible traffic concerns people have. You know, I get it like different times of days, like rush hour and stuff like that. But I think the effort's awesome. And I know that with all these like features and amenities, like it's awesome to hear that. But like the price will go up a little higher. So on the website, I had like $5,500 a month for a 1-bedroom. The price is a little bit higher, but for people who are looking for those types of amenities and features, and it's all in one place, it might be actually worth it to you. For people who aren't looking for that and they're not going to use like the pickleball court, they're not going to use a movie theater, you know, I would advise maybe look somewhere else. But as far as the housing market goes right now, it is still really low supply and high demand. I've talked to a bunch of realtors, seeing it myself. There's a ton of people offering on houses. They're getting over asking. You're still dealing with bidding wars. So if you're going out in this market and you're looking at houses, you want to make sure you have a pre-approval. You want to make sure you know your budget so you can write a competitive offer, and you're working with your agent. So they can look over the offer, they can talk to the seller, they can find out what the seller's looking for and see how you can meet them. Obviously, like a lot of people waiving contingencies right now. Make sure you talk to your lender and your real estate agent so you're comfortable before doing something like that and you fully understand what could happen when doing so. Anyways, thanks so much for checking into the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. If you have a comment, leave it down below. Again, I have seller and buyer guides down you can download. You can reach out with any questions anytime. I'm here to help. All right, see you next time.